November. For most people, it is a month filled with happiness and joy. At this point in the semester, students eagerly anticipate Thanksgiving break. During November, families come together to celebrate Thanksgiving and eat tons of food until their stomachs say no more. I used to be someone who was always excited for November. I love the smell of fall. I love making a conscious effort to step on the extra crunchy leaf. I love being able to eat turkey, laugh, and spend time with my family. However, this November was very different. November 4th, 2013 was the day I lost my grandfather. On November 6th, I was standing in front of a large group of people at his funeral giving his eulogy. 4 days later, I was standing in front of over 100 people giving my maid of honor speech at my sister's wedding. In a matter of 1 week, I lost my grandfather, attended my sister's wedding, and gave 2 speeches. However, tonight I'm not here to talk to you about the death of my grandfather. Instead, I'm here to talk to you about the life of my grandfather. Even on the day he passed away, my grandfather was very much full of life. His humor, his love for his family, and his perseverance is what enabled my grandfather to live 90 happy and healthy years. My grandfather was a very humorous man. Not only did he enjoy laughing, but he also made everyone around him laugh. When my grandfather was in the hospital, I called him to see how he was doing. He told me he really enjoyed one of the nurses that was helping him. He also explained to me that he needed to get off the phone because one of the nurses was coming in and he wanted to flirt with her. I hung up the phone and started smiling. That was the personality of my grandfather. All the older ladies loved him at the retirement community as well. He even had 2 girlfriends, although not at the same time. He could make all of us laugh, no matter what situation. I also remember the times when we would go out to dinner. One instance that truly makes me smile is one of the times we were celebrating his birthday with my family. My grandfather liked to thank each person individually for the presents we gave him, even though he hated getting presents from us. My grandfather started to thank my aunt, my uncle, my mom, my dad, my sister, me, my cousin Stephanie, my cousin Michael, and stopped at Michael's girlfriend. He forgot her name, so he just smiled and nodded at her. It was truly a memory that I will always hold on to. Even during the most difficult times, my grandfather could make us smile through his contagious laugh. That is why my grandfather is so special. He could see the light in the tunnel when it seemed so dark. His family members not only saw his love for his life and sense of humor, but everyone that came into contact saw it as well. My grandfather truly loved his family. Although I was the youngest grandchild, I never once felt that I was not equally loved in comparison to my older cousins and sister. Because of what my grandmother and grandfather taught my father and aunt when they were very young, my family made it a custom to visit my grandparents every single Sunday. As early as I can remember, we'd gone over there every Sunday afternoon. I would go in the backyard and play with the chickens. I would even sometimes play with my grandfather's bongo drum that he bought from one of his many trips he took. Even if we just sat there and talked, it meant a lot to all of us because we were together. We enjoyed being in each other's presence. Because of this factor, we all have a very special bond to one another. However, we gained this bond because of my grandfather. He all wanted all of us to spend every milestone together. Every single birthday or holiday was spent with all of us together. He made it clear to all of us that family was the most important thing. Because of that, I was shown and taught the importance of family. I plan to continue to pass on what I've learned down to my children and hold yet another piece of my grandfather close to my heart. Lastly, my grandfather was a man who persevered in everything he did. He wanted to become an engineer, but he was drafted in the United States Army Air Force in 1944. He spent 45 years working for D&H Distributing until retiring. Even after he retired, he spent most of his time helping my father run his appliance and sales repair business. Although money was difficult for my grandfather, he worked 2 jobs to support his family. He always went beyond to ensure that his family was taken care of, even if it meant him working extremely hard to do so. The hard work and dedication my grandfather portrayed to my whole family truly reflects who I am as a person. I have learned to work hard, persevere, and to never give up because of my grandfather. Through my speech, I hope you are able to see the attributes of my grandfather that makes him very special to me. His sense of humor, love for his family, and perseverance are some of the qualities that always remind me of my grandfather. Although he is not here physically, I'm so fortunate of the time we spent together. My grandfather is a perfect example of how I want to live my life now and in the future.